the Advanced CRT, we organise a summer school every year, and there are a couple of purposes to it. I mean, one is to provide training on particular topics and particular methodologies, and this year we looked at design thinking as a methodology.
The overall goal of this training programme is to introduce design thinking to a group of students who maybe traditionally wouldn't be exposed to it. And so it's to bring the tools right through from kind of that discover, define, research and then deliver phase, and to help them understand that, you know, this is a process that they can use in their own research and in their work as they move further into their own careers.
What's the purpose? What good is this going to bring to people? Because people are the most important factor, and if you're just designing things or doing research just to do it, then it might not actually be used, versus having that user-centered design and keeping the focus on the user.
In terms of my professional career or just problem solving in general, a very key step would be empathy. Just trying to understand what's really going on with people, what's really driving the problems that I see, what the real issues are.
We are delivering here the principles of design thinking, which takes us through the 4 steps of the double diamond, which is discover, define, develop, and deliver. And over the 4 days, we take the students with a project.
The beauty of using the design thinking process is it starts from the point of empathy. A lot of people, when they have problems that they want to solve, and in research we're often solving problems, is that they jump straight to the solution around that or become very detailed around what the solution can be. But when we apply design thinking methodology, we're starting from the point of empathy. What do others need? And even looking broader than that as we start to think to methodologies like design for planet. What does the environment need? What are our environmental boundaries when we're solutionizing and when we're trying to solve problems? So really trying to think very openly about what is out there, what needs and desires are there, and then focusing that in to a questioning point that we can ideate out from.
I felt it has a very real connect with the industry as well, so it helps a lot.
We were really mindful that there's a very diverse background of people within the summer school, but that can be the best source of innovation. So we were careful to create both a gender balance but also a discipline balance within each of the groups.
In our group, so there's 5 of us. 3 would be more from a science background or a maths background, and 2 of us would be more from a social background. So 2 total different areas. But it's great then because we have all our 5 minds coming together to do the best with our project, and it's just really fun, and it's great listening to everyone else's perspectives on different areas.
Process is also very enjoyable because we start with nothing and then we have to find a solution and then again argue around the team and kind of think like how we can do it. So yeah, it's a very enjoyable journey to us.
We broke the 4 days into the 4 phases of the design thinking process. So the first is discover, where we asked them to go out and talk directly to the users, out into Kilkenny town, ask the questions directly to people of Kilkenny, get that information straight from source.
It was a bit challenging, you know, because we had to interact with real people who were on their holidays. But I think everyone eventually, including myself, eventually got over that fear of rejection.
They then brought that back into the lovely setup that we have here, into the define stage where we did a thematic analysis. And what that really helped them to do was to frame those insights into actions, into really insightful, empathic pieces of information that would help them have impactful solutions.
If you look at empathy, now I'll be able to bring different stakeholders on board, like different car manufacturing companies, different engineers, different policymakers, and see what they really need. Because the whole idea is that I must develop a user-centered solution.
We had this really good back and forth, and that's what we were talking about a lot, was the ideas don't just come from one person, but they come from like a combination and a collective and conversation that happens between individuals.
Then they went into the discover phase, that's their ideation phase, where they would start to brainstorm as much as they possibly could, utilising those user insights. And then into deliver, where they start to look at how can we actually bring this to market, how can we deliver a solution to those users, addressing the needs that we identified.
How can I frame a product or a question I want to start in the future? So in that regard, I was very interested about like gathering the knowledge from like surveys and then kind of come up with like how the ideation process is working and then how to actually work as a group team.
summer schools like the one that we did this year on design thinking and multidisciplinary thinking. And by bringing researchers from engineering, computer science, social science, psychology, but also anthropology, arts, together, we help them develop multidisciplinary thinking, foster multidisciplinary research, and give them transferable skills that make them stand out in the future.
Design thinking is a really powerful tool because it brings people together who traditionally wouldn't be brought together. And also what it does is it's a really important leveler in conversations. So it allows for a space for the quietest voice to be heard. It's not necessarily the loudest, most powerful voice that's heard, but sometimes the best ideas come from the people who are the quietest genuinely in the room.
I think what makes the creativity so arresting here is the magic mix of the people who are on the summer school. We have over 20 nationalities involved. We have people from so many different cultural backgrounds, all working together, bringing different life experiences and cultural experiences to the table, which means that the ideas are richer. There's more diversity of thinking, and that really helps solve problems.
But overall, I think it's very important because I'm getting to interact with people who already have a technological background, and they're bringing through some of the exercises that we're doing today their own insights, which I did not have. And I think I myself am complementing what they're doing with my own personal insights and also my background as well.
Everybody's going to have one way of thinking about how you do things, and you think it's going to be the right way because it's your way. But having other people poke and prod holes in your disciplines is kind of great from an outside perspective.
So advanced CRT give us the opportunity to engage with people from diverse backgrounds. It will be a great help for me that I come to know some of the people that are relevant to my field of study, and I can get help from them as well.
I think that's the best benefit of having a lot of different backgrounds and doing the kind of similar things. So then you can help each other. That's a very wonderful experience and very big learning opportunity.
Design thinking is the common language. It's the language and the methodology and the approach that can be used across all disciplines, and it's very approachable, it's very understandable no matter what your background is. And often it can be the common foundation that can help people from those multiple and from that very varied range of backgrounds to work together on a common ground.
So really being part of the advanced CRT for the students is to be part of a community of researchers that are all focused on finding new solutions to real-world problems. And being part of it means that they're not just a single researcher, but that is part of a cohort, part of a community that works together, that exchanges ideas, that stimulates, that supports each other, and ultimately in the future creates a network for each of the CRT members.
Every time we gather, that camaraderie, that collaborative spirit keeps getting stronger.
I mean, we've been here for 3 days, and I feel like, these students have got to know each other really well. We've got to know and trust each other really well as students, as collaborators, as colleagues. And it's just a really positive environment to try and make positive change in the world.
So coming on to the journey of 2 years that I've been in Advanced till now, initially we were finding some of the research to be a lonely journey, but as part of Advanced we have a lot of events here. So you get to interact with different nationalities and people from different backgrounds. So when you have a chat with them, what helps is that you get a different point of view.
When we do PhD, it's solely with respect to us and our supervisors. But when we come here, like Advanced, I think it has given us a platform.
I think Advanced give me the opportunity to make new friends, especially from diverse backgrounds.
I mean, Advanced has been fantastic because, like as it was said from the very beginning, that doing a PhD can be quite a lonely journey. And from day one, I've already had a cohort or a year or even just a group of friends that I can kind of bounce off of. And being able to be part of a network that's, multiple years deep, I can query with people that are much further along in the stages. So I know what's coming up ahead and what to be afraid of and what to be wary of, but also like what to look forward to.
When we go out for dinners, when we interact with other people, it's so important to have those during the whole of the PhD journey. So because, it feels us that, yeah, we are with others as well. We are as part of a bigger community. So I think it's very important.
Well, it's good crack, like. The social aspect is great as well.